5:40, we're gonna start our meeting tonight. We'll start out with open or community session here for our calendar for the 26 or 27-28 year. And so we're open for anybody's comments for the next 5 minutes here. So I do know from my wife's perspective, this is crazy. She thought it was too many days this year off because she looks at the end of the year. And actually 27 falls in where they get out like the 27th and then they're done before the end of May. So we'll wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is 27-28. We always try to go a year, 2 years out for planning purposes. And like every year, we try to just roll over the same calendar to corresponding dates.
The state would ever make that change, we could make it audible and
Correct.
adjust the
Correct.
start
So
date.
yes, and we just have to reopen the calendar up.
Well, I would hit a little too close to home because that is Ruby's graduation date, and so I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Then that means I'm really old.
So name, print name, signature, date. It's this one.
Do you have any comment on the calendar? 27-28 calendar?
What's its name? Just my title?
Starting on a Monday. Monday
by
is August
Name
23rd.
is my name
You.
printed.
Unless we
Print
can
it.
so-
Board, I guess, board president?
This coming year, the following year.
Yeah, the July dead week looks earlier than typical. Typically, it leads a little bit into August, but ends the 30th.
The state.
That week, yeah.
The state sets that.
How far
Yeah.
out did they go? We're 2 years and they.
They're about 2 years. Yeah, we always call them and sometimes they have it and sometimes they say, we'll call you back. Yeah. And they figured out the corresponding.
So it's July, so that week would be July 24th through 28th. Okay,
I guess
Yeah.
we'll say the 22nd Saturday through.
You're right, it typically gets into that first week of August.
I think they just take that as full.
I have not heard that the changing of the start of the calendar is even in a consideration for this legislation. So.
Natalie, do we have to roll call this?
Typically Representative Driscoll will bring it up every year and she
No,
will
I mean, it's
again.
gonna take a
See if
second.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have kids and you're
Next
teaching
time,
and all that,
yeah.
like.
Pledge of
Yeah,
allegiance after we close this.
No.
You want to say that Tim's not here for this?
Just like this year, our high school kids are taking finals and
Yeah,
stuff.
we do it
Yeah.
It's
next
just,
few minutes.
you've had that
Yeah.
long
There
break.
may be an opportunity because this is this Governor Reynolds last year, therefore. The new governor will get to appoint a new head of education.
Okay. I'll do it right at the end to see if Tim can make it.
And then somebody will do the motion.
Okay.
Got another minute?
Yeah, I didn't roll call yet because I'm seeing if Tim will maybe be able to make it in here. I'll call it right here in a minute. Probably he probably has the cops leading him down here.
Very important meeting.
All right, let's just do roll call, Natalie.
All right, roll call, Rockhold, excuse me,
Here,
Lang,
Here.
Haluska,
Here,
student rep Piper Johnson,
Here.
student rep Parker Beck,
here.
and President Coons.
Here,
And Dr. Brown is absent.
he's on his way. Hopefully he'll be here soon.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep, all right.
Motion to adjourn, it's 5:45.
Motion by Haluska,
second.
second by Rofolds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We will talk about this a little bit later in our action things for the calendar. So we will now continue with our Pledge of Allegiance. Natalie always starts us off fast here, so.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Refit roll call for the second one.
Yeah, I think we do have to take
Yep.
roll call again.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
do roll call for our regular meeting. We have roll calls.
Here.
Lang,
Here.
Paluska,
Here.
student rep Piper Johnson,
Here.
student rep Parker Beck,
Here.
and President Coons.
Here.
And Dr. Brown is absent.
He'll be here shortly. So welcome to visitors and any, I don't know if the press is here today. We'll start our school board here. We'll start here with our celebrations of achievement.
Yes, we've got some guests here, but before we go introductions, I wanted to point out archery. They hosted a big event. It went Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, and we had just over 1,500 shooters that visited our school and town. And then our FBLA club, they participated in the district leadership conference, and we brought home some hardware. You want to share a little bit about that day?
Yeah, I really loved Linmar High School, although it was a little bit of a maze, I'm not gonna lie. We needed maps, but it was an awesome high school. The staff was great, the facilities were even better, and I participated in public speaking. And I spoke over overcoming challenges and achieving success, a very broad category, but I found a couple different ways I could come to a conclusion and some goal setting to for my speech. And I also participated in 2 different seminars. One of them was networking, and one of them was Think Fast, Speak Smart. And it was more of an impromptu seminar. It was really cool. I learned a lot. But I had a great time. Linmar was awesome, and I met a lot of really interesting people.
We had a variety of students. I know you got a first place in your public speaking, and we had students place anywhere: graphic design, banking and financial systems, economics, retail and merchandising, public administration and management, and insurance and risk management. So quite a wide category of Solon students placing really high in that district conference. Yeah, so now we have the Intermediate School Alpha Club sponsor and students that did a great job representing our district. So I'm going to turn that over to the club and sponsor. You want to introduce yourself, Emily, and the students? Yeah.
Schmaker, school. So this year, myself, Wendy Wheeler, and Kyra Ford decided to take on leading the 4th and 5th grade Alpha Club. So this year we've really enjoyed being able to foster the leadership skills. So these students here have been great leaders for us this year so far for some activities that we have done. So they're just kind of going to give you the rundown of what we've done so far and what our plan is for our next event as well.
So we have like around 40 students for 4th grade members, and 5th grade members is 44, and our total was 84, and that's our highest ever.
That's great.
Some activities that we've done or are going to do is visiting the Solon Senior Care Center, and some world kindness activities. We've also done school-wide kindness sticky notes, bingo board challenge, and Cody food park. Our upcoming event is a Super Bowl food drive, which is basically like a big food drive for the kids, and it makes it like we make it like a competition for the kids, collect as much as food as possible.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so for the voice response, in 3rd grade, the total amount of voice was 71, and in 4th grade, there was 139. 5th grade, there was 220, and total we had around 440. Boys for Tots had to make 2 trips because it didn't all fit in the car. So, the officer team, from left to right, it's Augie Rogers and Manette. Olivia Richardson, Victoria Robles, June Munson, Avery Goldberg, and Anna Pencil.
So-
Team built and organized pathways. And yeah.
Yeah, so all of them really stepped up and helped us in that sense, and they'll do the same for our food drive as well. This was the first year that we've done the Toys for Tots and we've had an exceptional turnout, so. I can foresee that we will for the food drive as well, and all of those items will be donated to the Solon Food Pantry in February.
Great.
Yeah.
No.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to say congratulations and thank you for being leaders in your own community. I fully expect to see you in about 20 years sitting up in.
Yeah, that's right.
But I did have a question for you, and it's where is the food going to go for your canned food drive?
To the Solon Food Pantry.
Okay, I was hoping you would say that, because the toys are definitely needed to get distributed to the area, but the food is really needed in our own community for those people, so thank you for stepping up.
And if I wanted to contribute, it sounds like it's a super bowl food drive. Does that mean I have to bring just soup?
No.
No? Okay, how would I, if I wanted to contribute, how would I do that?
It's supposed to be like mostly canned food, like unopened packages, like water, like canned green beans and.
Nice. Where do I bring my food?
So it would be like,
Do I bring it to you at the school?
yeah, at the school and you have to drop it off of the yacht list. It's really a competition between like the kids in each grade.
Sure, you get credit. Give them your business card.
That's right.
Excellent. I wanna make sure I can support this. This is great.
Well, I was gonna say, really good job. I mean, when I was in 4th, 5th grade, get up in front of a board meeting, you guys did really well. So we're proud of you and all the work you're doing, and the numbers look really good. That's great. You got 84 kids involved and you're helping the community, and we're excited for you. Keep it up.
You guys aren't aware, this Optimus Club is like the junior version of Junior Optimus Club, which is our Optimus Club that we have in school, and so this is. Last I knew, we were only 1 of 2 in the state of Iowa that have an Alpha Club, so.
I have one question. Tell me about the kindness sticky note.
So if a student recognized like a friend or just another student being kind to someone or themselves, they would write it down on a sticky note and put it on this big poster. And then at the end of the like week, we would like, everyone could like look at the sticky notes and see like a bunch of kindness.
Yeah, it's picture here. The picture here shows that, so we had it out in the hallway, just a banner, and then people could post sticky notes on it, so it was really cool to see it add up throughout the week that we celebrated that.
Yeah, I saw it in that building. I didn't know what it
Yeah,
was.
and it's still up.
So got a lot of them on there.
That's great. Well, thank you guys for coming. We love having students and teachers come here and show us what's going on, because we don't always know all the great things that our students and teachers are doing.
You guys want to stick around for the whole day?
Yeah. You're welcome to go.
Yeah.
If you want to hear about ICAP.
Could have made it more exciting. You could've-
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you guys should stay for ICAP. Yeah.
Sending your birthday.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him out of here. Oh.
I think my kids ate them all. They were ready to go.
And
There was more stuff left in the bag.
This might be part of your birthday present. You just a little more quiet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Might get everybody all bathed and ready to go for bed.
Yeah, I don't see a kid on your hip, so this is pretty good.
Instead we all get to stare at you.
Yeah, that's right.
Ready to roll. Want to do it right now?
Yeah, so
Oh,
we'll go to district reports now. We'll go focus on learning, and this will be our mid-year ICAP for principal partners here.
yeah. So I think now that I heard Parker say, think fast, speak smart, in one of those things.
Yeah, that's right.
The other one needs some work. Yeah.
We get to choose afterwards.
Yes, yes. A lot of things going on with ICAP. I'll try to give you a rundown without getting too crazy into the weeds on a lot of things, but the 11th grade had an alumni panel. Not too long ago, we brought in former graduates of Solon High School to just kind of pick their brain a little bit on what was great about Solon High School, what did you wish you would have done at Solon High School, what really became beneficial that you took from high school that when you moved on, so that our students can, kind of think about some of those opportunities. So if you guys had anything to add from that panel that you got, then was there some knowledge that came out of there that this does really matter, or maybe?
Georgia Havlicek, she's kind of like, I kind of want to do what she's doing. She's talking about taking advanced chemistry, that would pop in my mind, but it's like, maybe I should, even though it's a hard class.
Yeah.
I like how you're speaking here.
I'd love to give you an update.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I really like the idea of taking advanced chemistry as well, and they had spoken about internships. I believe it was that Science that spoke about it. So afterward, I had signed up for an internship this summer with a law firm, I think in Iowa City. So I'm looking to hear back from them soon. Yeah.
Park, you think of anybody at home that could tutor you in chemistry? Or?
It's super fast.
I'd have somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
No, so that was always good to get some of those students back to say, again, give those insights, and I wish I would have done this. I didn't really think about it at the time, but yeah, it would have benefited going forward. So hopefully we can make some decisions and come back in a couple of years onto the panel and say, I'm so glad I took advanced chemistry because it set me up for things. So ICAP day number 3 is coming up January 28th, so just a couple of weeks away here. Various activities for the different grade levels, all kinds of different stuff going on there. And so those days, that is just a morning. ICAP day number 3. Our first 3 days are just mornings. We get to our 4th day for ICAP, a final one, I think, of an entire day. So all kinds of great things happening there. We did just get the report on our first semester industry recognized credentials. At the moment, we've kind of talked about those a little bit, but those are only acquired really right now through the academies at Kirkwood and our students that are taking those. So we had 14 students get 23 industry recognized credentials through their academies this first semester over there at Kirkwood. We have got the seniors scheduled to take what's called the NCRC in February, which is an industry recognized credential. That is a National Career Readiness certificate. So they'll take that as a 3-part test that just kind of looks at different things that show if you're ready to go into the workforce, if you've got some of those skills. So always looking for new ways to give things that are beneficial to our students, as this will be something that is also tracked by the state as part of our Iowa performance profile. But want to make sure we're not just checking a box of giving kids something that is actually beneficial to them as well. So exploring some things through junior achievement. They've got a curriculum that is an industry recognized credential, kind of skills to pay the bills. Department of Labor has one as well. So looking at opportunities for our kids to get some of those things right inside the high school as well. FAFSA update, just as we kind of talk ICAP, but also just our career readiness and kind of the next step. We are at 59% completion with the FAFSA. Our goal is 70. We got 71 last year, and so we're well above the state average of completion at this time. They send us a snapshot every week of where we are compared to the state, and we're well ahead, but we still got a little bit of work to do there. We got an email this week from Miss Leedy, our high school counselor, that said that the priority for the University of Iowa, and I know some of the schools, was today, I think. And then the applications are, cutoff is kind of February 2nd. If you want to actually have, after that, you go into a waiting pool and do some of those things. So making sure our students are aware of that and getting those things done as those dates are here. So just confirm that on March 5th, we'll have 9th grade mock interviews. So that's during our school day. Where we get again all of our, it's kind of fun to watch last year we had some in briefcases and suits and ready to go and treated it like a real interview, so they get to kind of just have their first taste of an interview that happens in the school there on March 5th. We'll do that. As I said, our final ICAP day will be April 15th, where we have the full day there. ACT is once again going to be hosted at the school on April 21st. So we are already getting registrations in for that from the kids. So we'll do that again During the school day, it's a Tuesday morning, they call it in-district testing, where last year we had about 80 kids take that, in the school there, so doing that again, where the kids can take it proctored by our staff in our classrooms, in our building during the day to hopefully take away some of the stress, of taking that ACT. So a lot of colleges are going back to that, as we talked about the other night, like they went away from it for a while when COVID kind of hit there. It's becoming more prevalent again. That's a requirement in a lot of universities. So I know for a while it was fading a little bit, but I think it's revived.
You allow other people to come in from other districts.
We don't. Nope, that is just an in-district testing just for us. Yeah, we could apply to be a regional site that you would have to host on a Saturday, and have some proctors and stuff, but this one is just an in-district testing just for Solon high school kids.
When do you do the testing? Like time wise?
And last year we started at 8:30.
Okay.
It takes about, by the time you do you get one break in there between a couple of the tests. It takes about 4 hours by the time it's all said and done. By the time you read the instructions at the beginning, get going. So yeah, it was about an 8:30 to 12:30 last year.
Take it online.
We do paper. I thought about that this year and maybe doing a little switch since the kids are so used to the technology and things like that. I kind of talked to our proctors and they just kind of thought there was something about the pencil paper still that made you. I just hope you don't get off on a bubble.
Yeah.
The anxiety that comes
Yeah.
from what if I did and now I got to go back and figure out which one I was off on and change all my stuff. Otherwise the online one might be an option going forward. You're pretty used to it. Now they take their ISAT testing online now, so online it saves me having to ship back the huge boxes and booklets too and ship them off to us and all that stuff too. So I'd be able to make that shift. Yeah.
Do we provide any ACT prep?
We don't really, and that would be something that I would love to look into, whether that would be, I know when I was in South Dakota, we took a number of different, I think it was just 4 Sundays, maybe, or it was, I think it was Sunday evenings where we would pay one of our teachers off of the ACT prep money that came in to one of our math teachers would come in for one of the days, one of our English teachers would come in for one of the days, one of our science, just kind of prep those students. But right now, yeah, it's kind of up to the kids to come up with how they want
Is
to.
this something we can help out with too?
Right, fine, money, that would be great. I mean,
Does that
for,
cover it pretty much for the pool that you get with the $25 to take it.
To take it is now $58.
Gotcha.
$58 to take the ACT.
Yeah, I think it'd be beneficial.
Yeah.
To prep them.
Yeah, to kind of do, some of them are seeing it for the first time, like I said, just to almost talk about some of it, the content, but also just talk about the
Is it
timing,
too late to do it
of
now?
the test.
well,
I mean, essentially, we won't take the test till April, and so if we wanted to put something together, yeah, I think.
So there are free resources out there that you can take to prep you for the ACT out there. We also, through our Apex Learning platform, I know there are some free courses that we can enroll kids in if they're interested individually,
sure.
but we could.
Well, yeah, and sometimes it's at least I go on this day, I prepare for the test as opposed to, oh, this computer's here every day. It's just that, you're right, exactly, 100%.
Well, the
So,
other thing too, I know some of these kids, it'd be interesting to see what the breakdown is for sophomores and juniors, obviously, but I know it's been talked about. Some of these kids that are getting done with geometry or some of these courses, like, take it now, even if you're not ready for the other science and other parts, because you're just coming fresh off of some of this, and now they do an aggregate score, correct?
Yes,
Where
yeah,
you
this is the score, you can kind of take your best score for the different components of it. And nice to have that as well. Absolutely, so, yeah, I think it's a good thing, we learned from the first year, kind of having it last year of what we could do better and what we could do and not have them come back in the afternoon after a 4-hour test and have to go to class. We're looking at some other activities in the afternoon to kind of go. So last year we did a Spartan Service Day because it coincides with Earth Day. And so they were out in the morning. All of our different grade levels were out doing things in the community. And then we all came back in the afternoon and had it ended up being 25-minute classes. Kind of came to consensus, after just taking a 4-hour test, after done some of those things. How about we try to revive the talent show for that afternoon?
Oh, yeah.
Got some talents, Mike Johnson.
I can see
Try to
Piper.
revive that to maybe make it a little bit of a fun afternoon there
Yeah.
after they've kind of been out doing some things.
After.
So instead of, by the time you get kids into the classroom for 20 minutes, you're not getting a whole lot accomplished by that.
Especially,
So trying to find something fun for them to do there, so.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Few years spent at ACT running this program.
Yeah.
We do make sure that that parents know that there's, for those that have financial challenges, they get that. for
Then they
free.
can get their
So,
free, yes, yep,
sure that you're
yep,
not
there's a way to be take care of it, yep.
correct. So sometimes that's just not one of them.
Yep, and I was able to, last year we had a couple students miss the test, and as long as they never attempted it, I was able to give the refund and work with that, and get them their money back. But it's a couple sick kids and. Yeah, so. So that, yeah, that's April 21st, April 25th, we have Next Gen Finance for our seniors as part of our ICAP, where we have, we work with Workplace Learning, Connection, they come in, they set up in our gym. And all of our seniors go through, you're essentially given kind of a life situation. You don't really get to pick that. You kind of, are you married? Are you not? Do you have kids? What's your else's job? And some are very upset on this situation. I said, life happens. You're a single mother of 3. It is. I used to run a similar thing in my classroom. We had a week-long budget simulation, and one, if you randomly picked the cat lady, she had no money, but she would feed the cats and buy so much cat food every week, and smoked a bunch of cigarettes. And it was a rough deal, but make it work. Yeah, make it work. So they come in, they do that, and then they actually go meet with a financial planner afterwards and kind of say what part of the plan was already in there. There are loans you're talking about. You're going and kind of hitting different stations on getting a loan for a car, talking about college, those things, whatever it may be. And so you come out of there with hopefully money left over, or at least breaking even, and then they go talk to the financial planner a little bit of what was the hard part, you were you straddled with credit card debt, and that's what happens when you get in those places. And so, yeah, it was well received last year by our seniors, and I think kind of got that. It gives them just one more kind of real world.
That will be
Life is expensive. And
after their financial literacy course.
that would be, so yes, this is our seniors, yes, they
Yeah,
all
so
take
they-
financial literacy.
So they'd have some.
Yep.
Yeah.
Their background there, yep, they do, yeah, they do, so. A couple other things, I'm just trying to get some participation in that we haven't in years past, but the stock market challenge through junior achievement is in Cedar Rapids every year. It's a regional event. Used to take some teams to it when I was in South Dakota and they had a blast. It's a simulated stock market challenge essentially that you are playing against other high schools, teams of 4. And so free event there. So kind of just trying to work with those that have maybe taken a personal finance class and see if we've got some teams that want to give it a shot.
When is this?
That is in April as well. It is right after, I want to say it's like the 22nd or 23rd, right after our ACT. It's the same week. But yeah, Junior Achievement runs it. We used to have a program. We used to bring the Junior Achievement program in that was called Invest for Your Future. So I would actually be the volunteer. I'd go into the classroom and we would go through the simulation. We'd talk about the stock market. We'd talk about investments for a couple of days. And we'd actually go through a couple of practice rounds of what it looks like in the ticker symbols. And it's a pretty cool thing. When they go there, they actually have somebody coming around with their iPad taking what do you want to sell? What do you want to buy? Like it's a pretty cool event. And so I think our kids would enjoy it. So just trying to get a couple of teams to go up there and check it out. So a lot going on in the spring, I know, but it's right in our backyard there kind of. And
What else would you possibly fit in here?
Yeah, but again, given opportunities to kids, I don't think
Down
to
to
do
gym
it.
this year, so.
Yeah, they got plenty of time.
Yeah,
That's right.
We got extra.
We haven't got a snow day yet, so that'll
Especially
kick.
after those seniors leave, they're done like 3 weeks before we get out of school, so they're really hoping for some snow days too, our seniors, so if you guys can make that happen. They could get a couple of those, their fourth quarter might be down to like 4 weeks. So, you can make that happen. That year.
Imagine if your kid had the superintendent's kid in their grade. Come on, tell your dad.
That's phone. Yeah. As Parker just mentioned there, they are, applications are open for the internship this summer through the Workplace Learning. And then also we're in our final job shadow portal that closes next week. So got a reminder out to the kids today. We'll send a reminder out to parents that even if they've already done a job shadow, you can do up to 3 a year. There's 3 different portals and you can do one every portal. So just trying to encourage our kids to take advantage of that, to get out and do those job shadows and see some things. And so we are in the last, I can get you some numbers as soon as we get through that of where we're at with the number of kids that we had to do a job shadow this year as well. So always revamping. We've got a day now set at the end of April where even though the ICAP, DCAP score has been pretty good as a district, we take a team up and we go up to Grantwood and just kind of learn again what we could do better. How do there's different districts there. We talk amongst them. They give us some ideas. We kick some things around as a team to try to see what we're gonna, it's always supposed to be forward thinking and what we've got going on, for the following years. And so just trying to, give kids as many opportunities as we can and, yeah. Stretch people as thin as we can. With their duties and what they have to do, but, again, it's all good stuff. I hope the kids enjoy some of the ICAP activities and some of the things they get to do there. So, a lot going on in the spring, but all good stuff.
Well, this is amazing. Thank you. Like last year, I felt like we're heading in this right direction and all of these things that you're bringing was just phenomenal. And I appreciate the leadership that you bring to this thing. How can we then showcase that to the state? I think we need to put a session together potentially and have you present. At the next
And I can't take,
administrative,
I can't take up the most of the credit because Jody Limecooler just spearheads this thing. And we've got a great committee, but Jody Limecooler takes it and goes. I mean, it sets meetings usually every other week, where we're getting together and she's got the agenda and she is, what do we still need to do? Like I said, I think with the day after we got our DCAP feedback back, she's like, hey, we're gonna meet tomorrow and we're looking at forward thinking, like what are we changing, what are we doing, what can we add? And so again, she just does an amazing job with the ICAP and the rest of the team there too of coming up with ideas, adding some new people into it this year. With Corey coming on as the counselor, had some connections at the we had never been, for whatever reason, had never been able to get kids to the University of Iowa as a group visit. They just had never done it. She made one call down there and like bring 25 kids. Like, yeah, let's get them down here. So some of those things that just people with different connections to it open some things up. And so
I think I can maybe give this in my strategic plan. I believe there's going to be additional dollars flowing through from the state for us to do even more. And I know they're always looking for who's got it going on. And I would love for Solon to be a spotlight at the state level and show and kind of be an example in the Lighthouse District for those that maybe are struggling to figure out how to advance this stuff. So
Like Drew said, Jody does a great job, and we remember last year, we added business to free her up to do more of this focus.
Yes.
So, we
I
added
think
more.
that's a great example of what you have control over and what we can do
Yeah.
to really move that needle.
Yeah.
I think
She
it's
is,
great.
she's come up with some things that you'll see too as well going into next year, that'll come out in the course planning book here, she just got them to me, but that will really get kids into kind of a path too of work-based learning, taking a course that introduces them to employability skills, getting them out into that particular job, whether that is in district or out of the district, and then coming back at the end of that, to kind of, again, debrief that job and what went well with that, working with the employers to see how we can build those relationships too, to give our kids opportunities every day, and in place of some of our elective classes that they get out of the community and do some of those things. It's been great to get our kids into the other schools here just in the district. They've been acting as interns paid and for credit. But now that we can actually give them a little bit of a path to into maybe intro to education, the teaching profession, and then work with them to do some work-based learning right inside our schools. I think it'd be a great grow your own type program that really opens up some of their eyes to even if it's maybe not in education. I talked to Jersey yesterday and I just said, how's the middle school thing going? She goes, I really figured out I enjoy working with kids. It might not be in the teaching profession, but I at least maybe in the profession I'm going into, know that I understand that I like to work with kids. So that's awesome too. It's not the education, but it gives them some experience with some of those things. So it's went really, really well. Like I know it just told me at the middle school, it was better than he could have expected with the kids that are over there helping out. So we can expand on those opportunities for all of our kids and got some good momentum and good things, still work to do, but proud of the team.
Let alone the opportunities you're creating and the connections you're building. Just the fact that this program has been so iterative and responsive and collaborative, like that's promising that as education is gonna change, as it's going to change very fast, very soon. That's very promising that you guys are adaptable and have that forward momentum mentality. That's great.
That's one of the things that's been, really, we debrief every ICAP day with our staff. You know, what went well, what could have been changed, just for even logistic pieces of things. But then trying to get parents involved as well. Our ICAP conference is coming up. I know a survey went out to 11th grade parents of what do you want it to be? Like, where is your kid at in the process? Because we know it's different for everybody. And kind of what do you want the ICAP conference to look like? Are you more looking at a college choice? Are you more looking at the courses they need to get there? Are you looking at the workforce? And we need to look at something there. How do we get kids experience in the workforce? So you can do some more of those things. So really trying to have it student and parent driven on what the individual needs are of the kids and give opportunities for that.
Well, I think it's especially poignant that you're here today, right after we had our strategic planning thing and, you know, student centered and their pathways and all that stuff was, you know, something we were interested in growing and we are growing it. I think it's a testament to our administration that we talk about freeing Jody up and we, you know, they recommend us putting the funds there and this is just really how we all work together to really help you guys get experiences that'll, you know, hopefully guide you into areas where you want to be and away from areas you don't want to be. So thank you, Drew. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah.
That should all be in bed when I get home. Thanks.
All right, board committee update. First will be a strategic plan. It'll be me and Cassie. After last week's meeting, we'll have to meet together. We might need to meet kind of with somebody from administration, kind of what your discussions were too, so
Yep.
we can all get together and kind of figure out, you know, the direction and excited to do this work, just plan for the future and Davis and I have had a few conversations and already some plans to look at skinnies and different things for kids to have more opportunities. And so next will be capital projects.
Go back.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm sorry, Cassie.
No worries. So I think we all got this, but I took a chance to read it. It's in our inbox. It's the advocacy alert coming from ISB. And so this is just a recap of what the address that Governor Reynolds had, particularly that was focusing on education. So if you haven't had a chance, it's in your inbox, take a look. But particularly wanted to point out for the financial committee that they're really going to push forward this property tax reform, and part of that will set a 2% supplemental aid cap at that. So I just know that our budgets are going to be different, and we're gonna have to take a look at that, as well as find out where there's new money that might be coming, because I was the first to get approved to take all of the federal dollars and mush them all together into $11 million grant that they're going to then reproduce as a block of some sort in different areas. So we will want to follow that through line and what Drew's doing. Like, there's likely going to be career connected learning stuff that's going to come out of that block grant. So just a heads up on that. So it's in your inbox.
Thanks, Cassie. Adam, anything with capital projects?
Well, the agreement, we're looking at trying to meet next week, possibly next Thursday, so we're just trying to work out schedules with the city and we will keep you posted.
Financial services, I'll go to you, Megan, or you also, Adam, but
Yeah, I don't think we have anything.
Um,
Pat's gonna bless us with her knowledge on financial institutions.
yeah. Well, and then when the RFP stuff comes back, you guys you'll be big into that. So let's see, and then governance. I think we-
See, Natalie gave us that's
Yeah.
on the approval today.
Yeah.
Just got, but we have not met as a committee.
Usually you get a big stack of things to read, so.
Waiting, we're ready.
All right, next we'll go to the consent agenda. Anything we need to pull out? The only thing I wanted to state is the physics team is going to Chicago, there and back in the same day.
Depart 5 a.m.
I was like, whoa.
I'm not.
No,
So that's that'll be an interesting trip.
have we ever done that before?
I don't remember going to
No, this is something, Mrs. Allen has brought up.
okay.
That she had been with kids in the previous district, and I think she has some connections in Chicago. That, yeah, that she just brings kids and exposes them to this opportunity, so.
And then with the consent to contracts, you'll see that the on-site supervisor for BSAP, proposing a set rate for that. And that's just a position to have someone over there after school at the intermediate school. Little added duty more than just a normal BSAP worker. And Amber's recommending that we kind of find an in-between rate for that person.
Okay, and they're pretty healthy financially.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
a motion by Ruckles, second by Aliska. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Motion passes. Next, action items. First thing we'll go to is the 2027-28 school calendar. We had our opening this morning, or this, to have any input on this, which we rarely get. So
I'll make a motion to approve the 2027-2028 school calendar as presented.
motion by Haluska,
Second.
second by Lang. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes unanimously. All right, action item, the first reading of board policy 707.7.
Natalie, you want to?
So this is around electronic signatures.
Auto pen. I'm kidding.
You and Dr. Isle have privileges on that, as well as these are the areas in which we do it. Is this a new policy?
No.
This is just a
No.
renewal
We're
of what
talking about
our
this for
base is.
certain contracts.
Well, so after I talked to Tim today, and all of us in central office are like, we have this policy. We couldn't find it technically, so he was mentioning a while ago, before we went to assembly, something with the board policies, when we had them in Google, they did them a certain way and then they transferred them all another way. So he's like, I wonder if this got lost in translation. So bottom line is,
This is just to
Yeah.
make sure we're tight and
Yeah.
clean in how we're doing things.
Yeah.
We want to put this back in front of you for
Mhm.
approval.
Yeah, and kind of my lifestyle. I can't always get in here, and so being able to DocuSign and allow things to continue to go and not necessarily be able to do it, and so
It's a modern age. I would like to make a motion to approve the first reading of the board policy 707.07 as presented.
motion by Rockholz,
Second.
second by Lang. Any more discussion?
It's good.
All right. All in favor? I guess, I guess it's first reading. Do we still have to?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. All right, informational items. High school course planning guide.
This is again, a rollover from last year, reflective of changes that we're making this year. For instance, Drew had mentioned that we're adding 2 educational classes for kids to sign up for. Kind of a foundations class and a kind of an internship in the field type of course.
Of education?
Yeah.
For like teacher prep?
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. So this will be in our course planner. I mean,
and those are taught by ours.
yes,
Or
that'd be
available through.
Go through our teachers.
our teachers. Yeah, yeah. So, other courses, do you know, that are new that we've kind of added
Is
to
that a
this?
CTE credit course? Elective course?
Elective.
Elective, aligned with our work-based learning, because I met with Jody earlier this week. And kind of go through what those courses look like, is there will be an internship component with that. An intro to education, then an elementary education. Course, both outlined with opportunities for internships in our school buildings. With coursework along with that, and again, providing support for employability skills. And we talked a little bit about Board of Educational, like ethics types of things, as well as mandatory reporting, just to expose them to those things. Not that they'll be certified, but they become more
This
and
is
more
part
aware.
of
Yeah,
Part of the deal.
the
So,
the
profession.
good and the bad.
yeah,
Yep.
as well as, I mean, there's gonna be some other internship pieces built in there and experiences out in the community that Jody, during her release time, will make those connections with and relationships with outside entities. So really trying to balance what does it look like within the school. Drew had mentioned this earlier. What are the opportunities that we have in-house with our in-house experts, like potentially a mechanic that we have, potentially, you know, obviously custodial or even kitchen with Becky. So we're looking at just really.
Been talking to Piper Johnson about maybe some interning as a athletic trainer. We've got performance that she could probably hook up with and do some internshipping. And so just trying to expand opportunities for our kids. But we do have a few new courses that departments have worked and again, conversations with what Drew was talking about. How can we expand these opportunities? The education classes really were driven by the interest from our high school students working in schools as associates, and then the success and the feedback we get from our three principals, Holly, Mel, and Mike, as far as these kids just love these high school students and they do a great job. And of course, we've got, graduates that are now doing practicums and are really interested in teaching. And it's like, let's start giving them opportunity while they're in high school. And
I think another couple things along that is, there's the registered apprenticeship, which we discovered you really got like, a Bree, went through that.
2,000 hours.
So now there's a pre-apprenticeship, opportunity that districts can determine how many hours kids need. So we're talking through what does that look like, which is more reasonable within the school day where they can have that opportunity down that path that has to be matched up with with an expert in the field. And so we're really exploring that as well as kind of matching, we're piloting and trying out the interplay program, I think through Edmentum, to provide some of those skills, those work-based skills like HVAC or plumbing. It's an online program. There's lots of different modules for kids to access online. I mean, it's online training, but then matching that up again with the pre-apprenticeship and an expert in the field to really build that robust.
So we've got the program of study, and I believe, have you had the shortened days where you're going from department to department to learn about the course offerings in each department and everything?
We have that.
Next week.
Is that next week?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have like 3 half days where the kids are gonna rotate through the departments and the departments will talk about their course offerings. And then by the end of the month, kids will start registering for the courses that they want for next year. So that we're really,
Done the course.
I don't know if we've done this, no.
No.
To where they actually rotate and this is new. We really want the kids to understand what we have that's offered, if you're interested in education, we offer this. We want kids to, so often it'd be like, well, I didn't know we had that.
Right.
And then they want to change their schedule and do this and do that. So
Right.
we're really trying to
Do it
make them
before.
more aware. Then of course, ICAP conferences will come through if parents want to talk about those classes, registration, because we're really trying to drive a schedule this year for next year that is student driven.
So do we
so-
do that with 8th grade at all, or, cause I know they just got their stuff sent home. And
Yeah.
He was working with Jason on it.
Remember, we've got ICAP going on in 8th grade now.
Okay.
So our counselors will go down there and work and walk them through all the courses that they can, that's available to them as freshmen and opportunities.
Will they still have that meeting with them incoming freshmen like Mr. Thompson used to have, just kind of?
It'll probably be,
Yeah,
yes, the parent evening will still take place.
Okay.
Yes,
Might look a little different.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, different person.
yeah. So that's where we're at with the planning.
Just one note, as it popped into my head, talked to a Solon student today who was actually in Eddie's class, who might have been skiing with him. He went to the business school at Iowa and they would not accept his stats class from Kirkwood.
Kirkwood, just because that was interesting because we had, no, Kirkwood changed their number and their credit from 4 to 3. Some colleges, because I checked ahead of time with my daughter,
Right.
they'll say, nope, doesn't make a difference, we'll take it. Others, so now we're making sure students are aware.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Depending
say,
on where you're gonna go. it's
Yes.
accepted.
Yes,
so, I mean, it's just happened to come up today, so,
we addressed that last year, didn't we?
yeah.
How often does that happen with, various different classes that?
Very little,
It's pretty aligned as far as.
Yes.
Your
absolutely.
And sometimes they'll ask for a syllabus or something, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just a recent change that they made.
So
And-
stats class this year's 3 credits?
Yeah,
That was a Kirkwood thing?
yeah. It wasn't even us
it'd be
thing,
more in line with Iowa, just with the proximity.
right?
Yeah.
And I have a meeting set up with the new regional director. I'll talk to her about it.
Yeah, I mean,
See,
it's just,
because I remember I called and I tried to get an explanation and I don't know if I got. I just know that where Trey is heading, they accept it, so. Cause I had pulled her out of it, like, well, why take it if it's not gonna be counted as credit?
Yeah.
And then I went and checked into it and then, no, we'll take that number, Allen, nursing.
Yep.
Yeah.
anything else from the high school planning guide? Any feedback?
Just super jazzed all this stuff.
Yeah. Piper, you like it?
Yeah.
It's bad, I know you guys, so I actually,
Oh, I'd say, I like how she used jazz.
yeah, I know, I saw that.
Yeah, I am jazz.
Yeah,
Other words I could use.
she's blazing the district, is that where we're?
I can't use those.
Like, yeah. Jazz is awesome.
Jazz.
Jazz is awesome. Yeah.
Okay. I'm good. I'm good.
There we go.
I want to trademark.
Yeah, that's right, before it gets bad. You pick two different numbers if you want to say them too. All right, so we'll move on now to the board committee meeting reporting process.
I'm sorry.
Board,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is just for the financial stuff, right?
Well, no, it's as each committee meets, governance, finance, facilities. How do you want that? We talked about reporting it back.
Right.
How does like, when the facilities has a meeting, how do you want to?
So the financial committee just met, we just got those notes, right?
We used to do, and that was before the.
You,
some,
I feel like I got a note. I got a meeting note.
Everything specifically out there, so it was open and you would see it, but I know you.
Mine was spinning.
Yeah, so but that's. I'm spending. And too.
So are you thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, right, thinking if Adam and I met finance, we would come in to simply insert our own summary?
So this is,
Deliver it in a different way.
yeah, so my thoughts were this. My personal feeling is sometimes I would get caught off guard. Like some things were being decided or talked about, like the 28E, I didn't always know what was going on. Then you get, well, yeah, that's right, but you know what I mean, or something would say, somebody'd say something and you're like, I don't know. You know what I mean, that committee met and I don't really know what happened and, you know.
I like
it's-
your idea of maybe some of this is just having, we have this meeting. Whether it's using some AI tools or whatever,
Yeah.
but just extract out what are the main talking points, and maybe we can send them out to everybody, so you know what's going on.
For sure, yeah, if we can find, have we tried any of that AI stuff?
What Sean and I have talked about is. What I've been playing with is Plod.
Okay.
It's just a recording device like this. We throw it out on the table, we tried it with that facilities meeting regarding the outdoor facility. And it depends on what you want. but
Right.
It can, you can do a transcription of everything that's said. And then I just gave them the summary, which is just a few paragraphs. But we can go through and just make sure we edit out what we want. To
Yeah.
make sure these are the main talking points.
Yep.
You can get as complicated though as like very detailed, like minutes of the meeting.
Yeah.
It will give to-do lists, that kind of thing. So Sean had reached out to his contacts through CDW, big tech company. And they said, yeah, based on what we know, Plod would probably fit your needs and
Yeah.
the best, so.
Yeah.
We're talking about purchasing one, this is my own personal one to be able just to play with, but. We'll get one probably for the district, and then Natalie would probably have it, and we'll get an account. Where those minutes can be uploaded, we'll double check some of the tech specs as well as some of the security pieces on
For
it.
sure.
And then, we can start to try it. So I think the thought was maybe Natalie would have in her office, if you have a committee meeting, you're coming in, you just grab it, throw it on the table, record, done, and then we have an app and it has an online, through a browser, just uploads the information and you can play with it, download a Word doc, edit it, however you need to edit it, and then boom. So that's the direction we want to go.
I mean, I guess the thing is, how much information do you want?
Yeah,
That's the,
I don't want to speak, I haven't thought about this, but I'd like to hear from everybody else. Like how much detail do you want? Do you want just an outline?
I think an outline would be good, because
Yeah.
we're gonna get an update anyway.
For sure.
Important stuff, just to know.
Well, and if I had a question about the outline, I could call someone from
The committee.
the committee and say, what does this mean, or whatever, but at least we're all kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
Cass, are you just more?
I would say just have clearly like, what was the decision,
Right,
and then what are the next steps?
Yeah.
And what are action items?
well, it might be interested to have like what the recommendation from that
Right.
meeting would be.
So
So that
that
everybody-
if you had some sort of a template for your meetings to be able to outline those types of things.
Right,
Cause then it will capture those and it will boom, boom, boom. So,
Yeah, sometimes if
it's
you're
pretty
using
cool.
that, you can say, it has a name. Or
Yep,
something, you can say, hey, document action item for
Yeah.
Pat to go follow up on.
yeah,
Yep.
being somewhat explicit, cause it will capture that and we'll pull it, I mean, the one summary was like.
Let's
wow.
document that as a decision, then it will, the keyword, it will pick up on that and then.
Megan, any thoughts?
No, I think it's great. I am also more interested in kind of what the consensus was, you know, I trust that they went through the discussion process and the vetting and all of those things. It's more, what was the decision, what are next steps that I feel are most valuable.
So this is my world now. Okay, so when I sit down with the patient, my phone listens to the whole thing and dictates our conversation, dictates my plan. And then, so instead of becoming data entry, I'm now an editor of information. And so you can't be lazy, because they'll put some gobbledygook in there. You know what I mean? They'll just say some weird things, or you gotta kind of, but it's for me, way faster to edit something that I just talked about than it is to speak it all out in time. So,
I think-
did you like gobbledygook? Was that good? Thank you. So yeah, I would, what does it cost? Do you know? Do you know what it costs?
Well,
Well,
the
he
tool
has it.
itself, I think it's maybe $175 for the tool, but then you can get a free account that gives you like 300 minutes a month, which may be enough. You can get also a paid account, but it's like $1,000 or 1,000 minutes a month or whatever.
Gotcha.
For like, maybe if you were to do the paid, I think it's like $100 a year, something like that. So.
Well, I think we should consider it. I think
At the very least, if we can try it, and if we don't like it,
right.
we can scrap it.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
um,
And I don't even know, obviously you guys might use it for your team meetings to just, I think the more people that can use it and interface with it and tweak it, like for me, I had to go into Copilot and I had to say what I wanted for my physical exam, and it just kept working with me. And then finally
maybe we can try it out next week if we have that 2080 agreement.
yep. And we might try it with our strategic plan. Okay, sounds good. All right, RFP health insurance brokerage firm.
I just put on there a copy of the RFP that we sent out to, I believe, 8 different firms, and you can see a timeline on there. If you scroll down, so
Do you want Megan and I to kind of review this once we get everything together?
You're welcome to. What we receive in, proposals are due on the 22nd. So that's right around the corner.
And then interviews on the fifth?
Only if applicable, only if we feel we need them,
Did we sent it out to 8 or we threw it out there and we got?
we send it out. We have not received any back.
Okay.
They're due on the 22nd. So typically with RFPs, in the case of our contract manager RFPs, it was the day of that they were due is when we got them, so. Yeah, and so whatever we get in on the 22nd, we can scan copy like we did the others and get them to you.
Maybe you and I just come in together. and look at it.
Can.
Yeah. And it might be helpful, if we were able to list out our current, to just have as an item.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is good work, for us to do is to look at these things every so often and as budgets get tighter and we have to keep looking at ways we can save money. Every once in a while, you got to get new car insurance. Isn't that what they tell you every 2 years or something? Because of the
Same
price.
20.
I know the prices change. So, but I mean, it's always good to kind of check and see, and I'll be interested to see, if there's savings to be found and what, being in the insurance world myself, what do they offer us? What other perks do they give us? And, those will be important, you can pick up the phone and get a hold of somebody, or you pick up the phone and, all those things matter. So,
In ways we use the plans in the last few years, is there like a current theme where we wish we had X, or this piece of it just doesn't seem to work for us? There's nothing that glaring out at us that we should consider.
No, in the past 5-6 years, we've added the critical
Critical illness and
and
the free telehealth.
and
That's
the
been
free
big.
telehealth.
People
yeah.
have like that, yeah.
Years ago,
it's
we had that traditional insurance and it was a big deal to offer the HSA stuff too,
yes.
right? And we kind of talked through that of having,
Yeah.
what fits everybody's.
Every year we've tweaked or added, when their allotment teachers, they get so much per month. Whatever they don't use, they lose. And so we've tried to add things that they could go, like the critical illness and things like that we've added to it. But was it 2-3 years ago, we added the free telehealth, and that's starting to grow.
yeah.
More people are taking advantage.
Well, and we talked about this too. Healthcare prices are going up. This allotment for teachers has stayed the same for a while. So, I don't know if it's financially, but I know at our work that their contributions, everybody's contributions kind of we'll just have to see what's financially.
Yes. Stuff.
Yep.
Complete honest, the 500 was not giving a single for them, so that was very well received there. So the 625 with teachers, you can get definitely single across the board plus tax and others. So
Yeah.
that
So-
was a great thing to do.
Yeah, and I think we just keep looking at those things year to year, that if, all of a sudden, because insurance is doing this, if all of a sudden our teachers, they get 625, but they can't afford a single plan, then it changes. So, anything else before we move on? Okay, next, superintendent goals.
So, attached, you have the goals. And-
Are they public? I didn't make them public.
They're in line.
They came.
They're in mine now.
public.
No,
Do I need to
They were
refresh?
yesterday, but they.
Yeah.
do you want them public?
No. They're theirs.
Yeah, so they
Right.
gotta log in.
Oh, did you
Josh,
log
You
in?
didn't log in, you didn't log in.
Josh won't be able to pull them up.
They're not visible to the public.
That's all right. If he wants to.
He can't pull them
Oh,
up.
okay, that's fine. I'll look up for this.
So the one sheet has the one of 10, there's 10 leadership standards and the board identified 3.
Yep.
So it's standard 4, you can see underneath of it, it has the focus or the goal that you kind of laid out. And then underneath that, it's goals that we've identified that we will monitor, measure, and report out at the end of the year. Following?
Yep.
Okay, so, you can see, like, for the first focus, the first, is continue that instructional progress that we made, the continuous improvement that we've been making. Last year was a big year. Continue that and adapt to the changes of the state and things like that. So as far as measuring that, you can see with Lakeview, the intermediate, the middle school, it's a lot of assessment. It's ISASP and it's district assessments, it's MAP, is how we'll measure that. Getting down to the high school, we've also included things that we want to participation in job shadows, the industry recognized credentials that Drew was talking about. So included with ISASP and things like that at the high school, we're also including that work that we're doing and the continue improvement and forward progress with the future readiness goals that we have. So that's just kind of recapping what the goals were to start the year. Standard 6 is just building the individual principal and team leadership capacity to improve staff growth and student achievement. Those are more qualitative type of measures that we're using. And I will say, as far as updating, with Standard 4 and the academic achievement from the first goal that I'd mentioned, it's again, going back to, we're looking at district assessments, we're looking at workplace learning, we're looking at that data with shadows and internships, apprenticeships. And then, of course, we also look at that Kirkwood Regional Academy credits and, always promoting and pushing kids to take academies, credits, credentials, stuff like that.
The NCRC, that's an IRC, right? That's a industry related credential.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question on that one?
Yeah.
It's skill specific test. In other words, is it just general skills or is it like it's nursing based? It's education based.
It's more skilled. It's general
employability skills.
employability skills around reading, math, and like locating information that are all mapped to jobs. So if you wanna be a forklift driver, your NCRC says you should get a 3 and a 3 to 4 on that, and it's also the ACT. I can give you some, I can give that with you later.
Thanks.
Standard 6 is about building principal leadership and the admin capacity and cohesiveness. And we've talked about the trainings that we've been going to as a team. And we brought SAI, Dana Schoen down as a trainer for the 4DX, which is Stephen Covey leadership stuff. We've worked with Dana twice. We went to a conference in June. We kind of continuing that work. That's how we set up our goals for each building and things like that based around that framework. Josh and I meet monthly with each principal to focus on them, their individual goals and their building goals, using the 4DX framework. And then our team meetings always are, we spend a good chunk of time on professional development, learning, problem solving, collectively. If there's an issue going on at Lakeview, Drew, Mike, Josh, and we all kind of, brainstorm that out. We talk it through, game plan, we work on problems together, and then we look at data together too, regardless of whose building it is. That's Standard 6, kind of an update. Standard 7 is that recruitment, retention, and that support of new teachers. You can see in that goal page, if you scroll down to the scoreboard and data history, it's in green. You can see we've got past data and we've got goals for each of those. So, in August 2020, we had 10 teachers that were hired. 8 of those 10 completed 2 years with us. 7 of 10 have completed 5 years with us. So the 2-year retention rate was 80%. The 5-year retention rate was 70%. So that's just some history, and you can see how we laid out our goals. And we'll just over the next 2, 3, 4 years, we'll kind of keep track that with the goal of increasing that retention rate. And, of course, up to this point, we devoted a lot of time this summer. Part of our 4DX work and leadership work in June was planning the first 20 days of school and how we're going to bring in, boot camps and get the teachers started, new ones to the district on equipping them to start, successful and things like that. We'll just continue again through this goal to support on teacher growth, support and success.
So when it says 8 out of 10 completed 2 years, you mean we hired them and they stayed 2 years?
After 2 years, we still retain them.
We retained them
Yes, and then of those 10, after 5 years, we still have 7
of the
of,
same 10 that.
of the
we-
same 10, we still have 7 of
Okay.
them.
Got it, thanks.
Questions on any of those that I can?
Oh, that's a nice breakdown. So we're mid-year through these goals, how we do?
I mean, I think we're making great progress. I mean, again, we're not gonna know about ISAP until then, but our benchmark, our FAST assessment data at the Lakeview, our map is all showing us that we're making the progress that we believe we're gonna be able to mimic or, surpass last year. So we feel we're making progress there, continuing to monitor that.
Is that data we should visit next board meeting, because we should have all the results, right?
We should have it.
Results from
Hop-
those.
Our window for FAST is the end of this month, so that K through FAST data is measuring basically rate, fluency rate with kids.
February meeting.
February
So that we
may
can
be
see
available.
whether or not we're gonna hit those targets by the end of the year. We should know that.
Be an
now.
indicator, yeah. Certainly be an indicator, no guarantee,
No. it's
but
just
it should be an
indicator.
indicator.
Right.
Yeah,
And we could change course if needed.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, in some ways.
It would flag anything, obviously, that.
Yeah.
would Be in jeopardy of being.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Yeah.
that's off track.
and in our K-8 buildings, K-5, definitely, they do 4 times a year, they do a pretty tight formal data wall where they collect all that data and they take a look at several data sources, pieces of data, and they revamp groups, revamp strategies, revamp whatever. And so we could collect that data. They should be finishing up their mid-year January data. The state FAST assessment, that's a K3 mandated assessment.
As well as reading
that-
fast, math.
That window's at the end of the year.
Math fast.
Reading and.
Should have.
Math fast at Lakeview, they're doing the math with the fast. That's the thing this year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're doing math in, okay? And a math?
I know, I don't,
Just-
I think it's just the A math.
Yeah.
And no, we're not doing, I'm pretty sure we dropped the map and are just doing the. Yeah,
Makes sense to just do one.
Yeah.
Do grades.
whereas intermediate is still doing the math testing for math.
So,
But not a math.
yeah,
Got it.
They feel that, well, they get way more information on that.
Any other questions? The reason this is on here is one of those board president things. It's like you really should check in at about the halfway part and make sure that, for Davis's sake, right? That he has taken what we've asked him to do and he's heading in the right direction. And so I think now is the time, if anybody feels like they, there's something we need to change now. You just don't want to get caught at the end of year of your final review and everybody's like, oh, that's not what we want you to do, and so, I mean, anything else? I mean, we're not into the data part yet, but I mean, I think the goals and I think we're aligned. At least what I see, I think you're aligned with what we're hoping to gain out of this. It's interesting to see some of our, hired, how many teachers in 2020 and, 7 of them are still here. So that's, I mean, it's not perfect, but at least we have numbers now to kind of know, and we can really put because at the end of the day, you're always like, well, 10 teachers left. That feels like a lot. Well, how many stayed? You know what I mean? So that'll be, I think it's all good information for us. And Davis, I appreciate you putting this together for us. All right, next Pat, you're on.
First of all, thank you. I always appreciate coming and talking. When Dan said, hey, would you be interested in every couple months, maybe a reporter coming and talk to finance? Yeah, this matter. I think not sometimes school finance. So first of all, I should preface, I should have put up the top. You guys already know this. These are all general funds, no other funds involved, general fund only. If you have questions when I'm diving in these, just ask the questions. If you have any right now, ask them. Pretty standard. So we're just gonna dive right in. Financial solvency is basically at the end of the fiscal year, the assigned and unassigned fund balance, so your assets minus your liabilities. What percentages that represent in your revenue? Board last year, if you remember, we used to be at a 10 to 15% for solvency. We had really great conversations as far as we were consistently outperforming that. So was it time to maybe move the lever on that? So you guys went to a 15 to 20. So you can see over the history, we have a 10-year average of 18.35 and a 5-year average of 21.94. Now, before we scroll down to the salary and benefits, I want you to look at 2022 and put that number in the back of your mind, that 24.23. Okay. Move down to salary and benefits, again, general fund only. So of all the money that we spend, general fund board range that is 80 plus or minus 1%. And that ratio changed last year. Prior to that, we were, I think, 75 to 80%. We were consistently in that 80 mark, a lot of discussion. So I think this fits us much better where we're at. So you can see that little red mark there in 2023, and you think, did you forget to pay people? What did you do? Look at that. That's just a reminder. Last year we talked about it too. So there are a multitude of expenditures that can go general fund, capital fund, save, wherever. So about springtime, I'm in Davis's office and I say, hey, this was supposed to come to fruition, hasn't happened. So unless you tell me differently, I've got some expenditures in Pebble, we're going to bring them over to general fund. What that does is bring solvency more into line. So go back up to that solvency, that 24.23. Then look at the next year where we went to 23.54. Had we not made those expenditures and pulled them over to general fund, solvency would have been well in excess of 26%. So we were then going this way. This is the conversations we were having about our solvency of bringing it more in line. So that's what that anomaly is. It's great that we brought solvency down, but it kind of puts a little blip on the radar as far as your salary and benefits. It makes it look a little goofy, messes with your 5 and 10-year average, but I did want to point that out. And then lastly is percent of revenue spent. These all kind of talk to one another. So in a perfect year, if you've reached your target solvency range, you want to spend, if you get in $1, you want to spend $1, not $1.50 or less. You're going to do that. So really there's not a set board range. It's just once we hit the target solvency, we try to levelize out. So we're kind of at that point now. We all recognize life happens. It's not going to happen overnight to get $1 to $1, things to pull back on. The one thing I'm very proud that we do not do, and I'll say this over and over again, is when we have to make any changes, we never add staff to that. So that's a reoccurring cost. It's always if I go to Davis, it's, hey, we have a bus, we have an opportunity to take it here and put it here, or hey, we've got computer software technology. Kind of go in and go, oh, we've got a pocket, so let's add this. That's one thing I was going to say as a district we do really good on is that piece of it. So percent of revenue spent, I just highlighted those last 2 years just because it was about 100%. Reason being, again, is we wanted to bring that solvency closer to that range of what you guys have set. So last year was really, if you look at it, was really a great year. Solvency hit on target, salary and benefits were great. Revenue, that's a little bit over, but it brought everything down to where it needed to be. So
Was COVID the reason? Because we, like with 2020 and 2021, just so I can remember.
yes.
Was that because of like the busing and all that?
Yeah, we had, I still call it COVID years, you know, you look in there and there's a good 2 to 2.5, 3 year float in there where there's still a little bit of little blips on the radar. I like to say, you know, moving forward, maybe your 5-year would look a little different if you took COVID piece out of there, but we'll get there. So all in all, last year, we hit all the targets, so great.
Well, you've done a really good job. And
We also don't say it too loud.
Yeah.
You don't, because it'll be like,
They're finance, full finance.
yeah.
and the interesting thing too is we've had kind of a stagnant enrollment based on bigger grades coming off, and you know, people think this is a growing district. We went through some pains where it really wasn't, which isn't all bad, but you've done a great job of making the numbers work. So
Well, this is really the first year we had 30 some.
38.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that'll-
just know that there are challenges, obviously, just like any school district where Cassie had said, you know, like budgets are tightening. things get more expensive, you know, we still have supplies in the classroom, Brian still has stuff for maintenance, things like that, so it is continually challenging, but do the best that we can to make sure we get everything under speeds.
Yeah, two things in this announcement that I also saw interesting is Iowa sets a trajectory to allocate 30% of save funds to property tax relief by 2030. Second thing I noticed, the 14 million of educational support personnel salary supplement coming back again this year, including paraprofessionals. So that's
Well, the interesting.
not passed, but that's
Yeah.
current.
Well,
Yeah.
And going back even further, I remember, I mean, this is going back a while ago, but just the fears of opening a new building, right?
Oh, yeah.
All the added cost of that and everything, and so when you historically go back, it's been great, Pat's done a great job on keeping these numbers consistent.
Yeah.
We try, you know, Davis and I moving forward as far as indoor facility, you know, I know big costs, so the moment we started talking about it, was reaching out to Wood River, hey, we're gonna have a new facility on, you know, keeping them apprised of that, and then, hey, what square footage is, you know, just trying to really play off of each other as far as what we're gonna use for this, right, so.
Well, it'll be heating and cooling and maintenance and all that stuff starts to
Yeah, we try to stay ahead of it as much as we can.
add up, so. Well, Pat, as always, I thank you for doing this. Unfortunately, Natalie tried to get board learning points for some of this stuff. But pretty much IASB basically says that you can only do board learning through us, is basically what they're, which,
Also look at webinars. So keep
yeah,
sending me
I
those.
know, but it's just, it's like, this matters to our district. This is, I think it's better learning. I actually think their financial 101, 202, and whatever aren't
We can
as,
get Pat certified.
yeah, that's right.
I'd love to.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you again, Pat. Thanks for coming and sticking around to the end. I do appreciate it. Any other questions before we move on? Okay, intermediate school BASP.
Yeah, informational item, we just wanted to again make you aware, we came back from Christmas and we started keeping after school, third, fourth, fifth grade students there. So we opened up a BSAP site. All kids reporting are dropped off in the morning at Lakeview. We shuttle the BSA, intermediate kids over, but they do stay there and they get picked up there after school. It wasn't as easy as just saying, hey, now we're going to start picking them up after school at the intermediate, that it has to be DHS certified. And there were a lot of hoops that Amber had to jump through and check the boxes, and we had to have radon testing at this and that, and they had to walk through. So it was a pretty extensive process that Amber is very, very aware of, and just walked us through, got us through the certification and all that stuff. With no work that I had to do. So, I mean, she did a great job on it. And we've got about 35 students that just get to stay in their building after school and do things there.
Is it logistically kind of a pain to move those kids in the morning or not really? Cause you kind of have to wait for,
No, we have a special shuttle.
you have to make 2 or 3 different trips or not?
Nope.
One trip.
No, because a lot of those kids that stay after school, they're not there in the morning. They don't get dropped.
Gotcha.
Parents drop them off or they ride a bus in.
Gotcha.
So we're only transporting about anywhere from, depending on the day, 4 to 7 kids.
Gotcha.
That's it. So they jump on Allie's bus
Yeah.
and they come over to the intermediate. Yeah.
Intermediate, they have access to gym.
Their home base is the cafeteria gym. So yes, and then we give them access to some classrooms across the hallway. And so they've got a nice spread there.
Probably can't use the competition gym in there because of.
It's packed full time, but they do have the cafeteria gym that they can play and run, and they've got our playground and some classrooms that they have access to, so.
And they are currently looking for one of those. I'd say supervisor.
We have someone.
We do have one.
We have someone already assigned.
Yeah, that was the
there.
contract.
We just wanted to set it's a new,
I thought we were adding
Nope.
another. Okay.
we've got someone who was already on staff that we're just gonna pay a little bit more to take on that added responsibility.
I
Yeah.
think she said she only had 2 parents that forgot that there was 2 sites, otherwise she said the first one just ran very smoothly.
Well, just,
Ideally, it would have been put out to provide it at the beginning of the school year when the building was complete, but it also gave them time to figure out their space and understanding how they're gonna use it better. before we were able to transition over.
Yeah, it did. Pat and I and Amber and Brian and Mel, we all just kind of walked and talked and just figured out what the best places would be and it worked out really well. Kind of, we, like you said, got to kind of really take our time, think about it, brainstorm what would be best here, what would work out, and so we got it.
Well, just a lot of growth in Amber over the years too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just, I think our district's best when we collaborate. We saw it in the business part. I mean, in all these offerings, Jody and her group of team get together, this BASP thing, when we get a lot of people, I still hang our hat on how we dealt with COVID. You know what I mean? And how you guys all put that together. So, always good to see this stuff. All right, talking points.
Oh, you're giving them the layup.
No,
You go first.
yeah, that's right. I'll let you go first.
I'm really jazzed about all the ICAP stuff. Because I mean, freshman year, I took like a quiz questionnaire about yourself, and my 3 jobs were a heavy equipment operator, lineman, and a zookeeper, so I'm glad I have more options. Especially with all the course planning stuff that we've been doing, especially with Mr. Bunkers just talking about it. And I like the idea of having the intro to education classes that you guys were talking about, because I think that's gonna help a lot of people, just get more people in that industry too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was just piggybacking off what Deborah said. I agree that the workplace learning and the guy has a great idea. I've seen it like for my sister especially, she's a freshman, and I've seen her get like more excited about ICAP. I swear every time it comes up, like it has a very high success rate. I've seen that through my friends and through myself, and I'm really glad that we're diving into this head first, and I think it's a really good idea. And I have 2 other things. I don't want to bore you guys to death, but I have an update on the Big Brothers Big Sisters or the club at the middle school that I had talked about at the last board meeting. So we got the estimated budget that we are going to need for this year, which we're going to start after spring break. We're planning on booting it up about 17 kids per week. So we're only going, I think it's about 6 or 7 weeks. I'm not exactly quite sure, but the budget that we need is $735. We are going to be able to fully cover that. It is as of next year that we might have more of a challenge. I think I have right here, the total for next year is 3,240 the entire year. So we kind of cut that into 1 quarter and said 735-ish is what we're going to need for this 1 quarter. And we are applying for a grant currently. We have not heard back from that grant, but this specific grant I do not know the name of. It's kind of shutting down, so they have a lot more money to give up to clubs like this. So we're hoping to hear back from them. That's just kind of an update I wanted to give you guys. And then the second thing, I've been talking to not only like my sister, like I mentioned, but a lot of the other the wrestlers that we have at Solon and some of the just football guys, and I was one of them. I had to come from football practice. I would go to musical practice right after. I had to shower in the locker rooms. And the locker rooms had been a discussion in terms of the showers. I know that in the high school locker or the varsity locker room, another shower had just like shut down. So there's only 3 working showers currently in there. A lot of the guys have been talking about like shower heads, like having specific shower heads instead of kind of like
Just a nozzle.
just a nozzle. Like I don't want to get like too into specifics. I don't know. My sister had showered a couple times at the high school. She said it wasn't the shower head wasn't great. It sounds like something very specific, I know, but I just wanted to bring it up because a lot of the guys that I have, not only in my grade, but the wrestlers who have to shower every day after practice, have been saying that they have to shower. It takes twice as long because half the showers in the varsity locker room now work. So I know it's more of a maintenance thing, and I can talk to custodians over at the school board, but we're thinking about I was gonna ask about a more shower heads, and that would offer a quicker and cleaner.
How many showers are in that?
There's 6 in both of these guys.
Wow. Yeah, can we,
We're at talking points. Make the record say that Tim Brown arrived at 7:09.
Can we get Brian on that?
Yeah.
I'll talk to Brian.
Yeah, so that's just the 2 things I had.
Yeah.
Hey, this is why you're on. We want to hear stuff.
Yeah, so I think the thing that I would like to do, if you guys have anything you want to bring to the board before we go, we'll put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I have a whole statistic right here, and I was like, well, I don't know.
Well, whenever you want, yeah, just give
Yeah,
us, just put it right on. that.
just
You
put it,
got
we can just, it'll be like an informational item or something and we can,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Cause that's why you're here, is for stuff like that, so.
Also, we could also add to a student board report, just add that.
Yeah.
And when we do the committee report, we just add a student committee in there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is work you just put on your plate, bud.
Yeah,
heard you.
yeah, you popped off and now you gotta work more.
My copy, well, not that you complimented me on my verbiage, but yes, I like the ICAP stuff. That was amazing, what you just reported out, I appreciate you being there, so my talking point was thank you for being here, thank you for the report out, and I was sitting here at the last meeting, so I want to learn more about that.
I thought it was great. The kids came in here and did a great job. I also think in achievement. He didn't really pat himself on the back. He's first place public speaking. That's a big deal. It's good to see one of our own, and just all the rest of the kids. Looks like they really showed up well in that FBLA. So good stuff.
Megan?
Yeah, mine's definitely the 5th grade alpha kiddos. I mean, just their heart for service, like developing that now. They might do it with their families, they might do it with their church, but like to be another place where it's normal to serve others is really special.
Tim?
Other than I apologize for missing most of the meeting, I'm supposed to be at 3:11 and.
Yeah.
Apparently there's snow in Toronto.
Gotcha.
Which disrupts,
Good to see you regardless.
Well, yeah, it's pushing to be here, I'll watch the video and catch up on the discussion, but, thanks for our students for being here, it's always good to have their input, you have insight that we don't.
Yeah. Boots on the ground, so to speak. I think for me, it's just, the collaboration our district is starting to do for our kids. Part of that's the strategic plan, but you know, what Jody's doing with ICAP, but also that there's a group of people sitting down driving this. What do we have to do? How can we do this better? BASP, how can we do this better? We all walk through together, we find a way, and that's when we're at our best. And so it's always
just checking off a box. Really,
right. Yeah.
Try to make it worth their while.
For sure. And just appreciate the administration being willing to do some of those things, you know. It's easy to sit and say, this is how we're going to do it and not do the collaborative thing because it is more work, right? But it's usually the right work because there are things that people bring up that get included that makes it better. So I do appreciate that. Our next regular board meeting will be February 19th, 2026 at 5:45 p.m. right here. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Haleska.
Okay.
Second by Brown. All on record. It's on record.
Motion to adjourn the precedent of everything that has to be voted on.
That's right. All in favor, say aye.